Hi, and welcome back to the Mortgage Broker Broadcast. My guest this week is business owner Leigh Rowland. I'm so excited about getting Leigh back onto the podcast. Leigh was on the podcast back in August last year, episode 18, talking about his journey to financial services, where he was at that time, all about his branding. There was various other things that went on that we talked about. So it was natural that I wanted to get him back on. He's this week launched his own brand, his own business, which is an exciting time for him. So I think it's good for everybody to hear how he's got there, why he's chosen to do that. But who better to explain all that than Leigh? So let's just get Leigh onto the podcast. Welcome to the podcast, Leigh. How are you?
Really good, thanks, Craig. How you keeping?
Yeah, good, mate. Thank you very much. Good. Glad to get you back on the podcast and hear all about the journey. Like, I was looking back then, it was the 4th of August when your first episode one, it was episode 18 of the podcast. Yeah, episode 18. It was the 4th of August when they went out to the world, mate. Can you believe that?
No, I can't believe that. Oh, happy anniversary.
Oh, yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.
Happy anniversary.
Oh, yeah, a year. I know, yeah.
But I can't believe, is it only, I don't know if it's...
Is that 7 months? From a quick calculation, 7 months ago, yeah?
I can't believe how much has happened in 7 months, Craig. It's been, for everybody in the world, as well as me and you, it's just been absolutely crazy.
It has, mate, to be fair. And again, like, it has for everybody in the world, but I think the main thing is look at what's happened to you in the last 7 months. So we've gone from recording inside, outside podcast, dog barking, the thing that your podcast took forever to edit because I was trying to mute the dog and the dog at the same time. But look at what you've achieved in the last sort of 7 months, mate.
Oh, that's really kind of you to say so. That was quite funny though, wasn't it? Because I said, the Welsh internet won't work, and I'm about to have a dog barking shortly, and all of a sudden, like on cue, the dog started barking next door, didn't it? Yeah,
it did. It was lucky it was recorded in August, like July, August time, rather than in the depths of winter.
Yeah, well, like you said, I obviously you can see from behind me a bit of a change of venue, and this is the new office.
No, well, we're going to get onto that. So we'll get onto that, the new office, the branding, the business, and everything else. So, but yeah, do you want to, for those rude people that don't know who Leigh Rowland, TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, Insta, everything social media megastar is, for those rude people and maybe the one corner of the planet that hasn't heard of you yet, do you want to just give a give you a brief background about yourself, Leigh?
I'm just going bright red now. Can you see how embarrassed I am? Thanks for that. Yeah, literally a very quick version was until 2018, I worked in the voluntary sector in a charity to help disadvantaged young people. But I'd always been interested in property. I think I said last time I was a bit of a property geek, which I am. And I had some buy-to-let properties. And then that came to a natural end at the charity. And a couple of guys I played football with had their own brokerage. And they said, you'd be good as a mortgage broker, because I knew quite a lot of people. So I went to work for those guys. I passed my CMAT. Then COVID hit, and I had a strategy in my mind about how I wanted to, or how I had to build myself and my business. And the guys from football didn't. We didn't knock heads, but we weren't on the same path. So another guy I played football with, Mark King from King Financial Services, said, come over and work for us. And Mark and Fiona are absolutely amazing. So I went to work for them because they said that I could pretty much do what I had in my mind about developing myself and the business, as long as it was compliant. Up until that was I think that was April 2020, actually, when I started with King Financial Services.
Right.
And that'll bring us up to the present day, where there's new things happening, as you sort of know.
Wow. And then since something's just triggered in my mind. I'm thinking back to, if we recorded the podcast 8-9 months ago, Lauren's due sort of like around the sort of the first of May, first of May. So yeah. I'm just thinking sort of yeah, must be in the height of the summer, mate, and the excitement of recording a podcast that got carried away with yourself.
Well, yeah. Well, I just popped home actually just to see the Lauren was okay. She's only literally got 2.5 weeks left, and I don't want to touch my nose on the podcast. We've got itchy nose. And she's fine. She's all good. But it's really, she just uncomfortable now. Just wants to obviously have the baby and get back to a bit of normality. But she's all good. But May the 1st is the due date. So looking forward to that.
Right. So when this goes out, it's literally going to be like a few days before. Well, this is going to go out so like the 26th of April. So it's going to be like literally a few days before. So who knows, mate? Who knows what's going to be happening by then?
I could be listening to it in the hospital, couldn't I, while I'm waiting?
So play it to Lauren. I'm sure she'd love that at that point in time. Lauren, listen to the podcast. I'm on the podcast. Leigh, I've got other things to worry about right now.
You know what? She did actually say good luck as I came out the door today because I spoke to her about it. She went, "Oh, just good luck today, baby." I was, "Oh, thank you. That's very nice." She's still working. Yeah,
Wow.
working. Yeah, she's a warrior. Fair play. She's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Exactly. Fair play to her, and still thinking about you going on to a podcast at a time like this.
Yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it? Fair play to her. She's class.
I know. So yeah, like I said, like the last 8 months have been, like from my own point of view, like so many changes, so many different things going on. But from your point of view, mate, if you look back and when we sort of sat down talking 8-9 months ago and where you are right now, which is obviously why we've got you on back on the podcast, is like it has been pretty much life changing from your point of view. Is that fair to say?
I want to agree with you. We don't want to come over as conceited, but it is what's happened.
Just do it. It's your podcast. It's honestly, mate. You just go for it.
It's been. It all sort of started in June, I think, last year. June was the sort of the week, the kickstart. I had a quick chat with Paul Lewis, who gave me his time. You know, Paul. Mm-hmm. Sorted out my LinkedIn. I think I had 995 connections on LinkedIn, right, in June last year. Right. Got about 3,360 odd now. I know that's not like 10,000, but that's not bad. And it's just, I just worked LinkedIn. And then I went on your podcast, and I think on your podcast I actually said the words, I've just learned to be myself rather than worrying about what the perception of a mortgage broker was.
Yeah.
And honestly, it has been like a whirlwind. I've been to the Mortgage Introducer Awards. I was at the TMG Awards. I know the awards are everything, but it's nice to mix in those circles to meet these people that you see. Yeah. Been in the Mortgage Strategy magazine. I just can't believe it all. I don't know. And now I'm back on here, and there's a few other things which have happened as well. But it has been absolutely crazy. But that's all the fancy stuff. The good thing is that all that networking and all that not hard work, social media stuff has led to, thankfully, a lot more volume of inquiries, right, which has enabled me then to forecast effectively to then take different steps along the way. And so, but thank you for saying that, Craig. But it has been absolutely amazing. It's not. I know I do the social media stuff and all, but it's all the support I've had from everybody else as well. I just can't stop thanking people. That's all I do is thank you. Just it has been unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable.
I think that's it. Like you hit on a comment then what you sort of said about being yourself, and we can clearly see that from everything that you do. We know that if I rang you and I was thinking about becoming your client, I know for a fact I'm going to get the same Leigh as I see on Crossbar Challenge, as I see on like all the other social life and all the other stuff that you do. The weather, like I'm not going to talk about the weatherman because that's sort of no, I am really. I'm joking. So, but that's the thing. Like we know that we're going to get. I know from a client point of view that I'm going to get the same Leigh Rowland, because Leigh is Leigh. There is no person that puts on a different type of persona to do a weather report or to do the kids and to do the crossbar and to become the other sort of videos that you do. There is not what I like and what I love, Leigh, to be fair, is there's no change in your persona, your attitude. You don't put this sort of hat on of something totally different. You are what you are. You never change from one to the other. And the beauty of that is that I've talked about this before, where a client gets an appointment with you, and if you was different on the appointment, clients be sort of, you sort of broke down the confidence and the trust that you've built up with your social media. So they'd be thinking, hang on a minute, who is this guy? It wasn't how it was meant to be. Whereas you are in the same in the first appointment, in a lead, in a sign up, whatever the case may be, in the video, it's Leigh, isn't it? That's what I love.
Well, that's exactly what it is. Like I said to you, it was just about being myself. And because of the preconceptions I had of a mortgage advisor and a good mortgage advisor, and they should look like this, they should talk like that. That was my fault, though, because I didn't know any different, because I was very new to the sector. But then once I realized I could express myself and that people wouldn't, because it's all it's important to note, though, that you can only do that type of thing if it's underpinned by something. Now, my underpinning is my reviews, because if you look at or read some of my reviews, they're not just like, oh, great service, for example. They're like, some of them, and I people must think I'm a nutcase, but I get really emotional reading them. Some of them are in depth. They're like saying how I help them with their lives, and you sort of realize at the time, but not really. So I can only do all the social media stuff that I do as long as it's underpinned with something which shows how good a service I provide. Because if I was just going around doing weather reports without any substance behind me, you'd just be some crazy guy, really, when you're doing weather reports and whatever else. But because concentrate so much on getting the best outcome for the client, then when those reviews come in, it all sort of stacks up, doesn't it? And obviously I don't need it. I don't change. I'm quite easy to talk to, and I like people. I said that before. I love talking to people, love finding out about them, and getting their dream house, get their first time buyers, all of it. I get so much satisfaction from it. And if I can do it with a smile on my face without changing, then happy days. Happy days.
But that's it. It's just like it's a natural. Like you get a buzz out of, and rightly so, the reviews you receive, and you can see the personal comments and the feedback that you get on the reviews. You can just see you through those reviews as well. Does that make sense? Like you can see your personality through what the comments the clients are saying as well.
Oh, they're so kind. I mean, the clients are so kind. All I say to them is, oh, would you mind making me a review? And then all of a sudden, sometimes some of these things which come through, and it's like taking your breath away. And that it's sort of sometimes a thing we don't just talk. It's not just about the figures with me. It's not just about if it fits. It's about asking them questions about their plans, their lives, quite in depth sometimes, because I don't want to leave them with something which isn't going to be able to enable them to do what they want.
Yeah.
And bit of long-term planning, if we do this for 2 years, the next 5 years, you can do this. And so I get to know them really well. And there's no way I do something which is going to stop them doing something they want to do. That's what it's about, really getting to know them. I should drill down into what they actually want in the long term. And to me, these are long-term relationships. I'm not going anywhere. This is it for me. I come into this late. I'm not 20, am I? I'm 45. I'm not going anywhere. And these clients are coming with me, and that's that. They're coming with me, and I'm going with them. We're going to make the best out of this home/stroke financial investment for their lives. And I just can't wait to see what happens.
And that's it, mate. Like literally, what you're saying is so 100% right from a client point of view. Like you say, you're not going anywhere. This being a mortgage broker is not a quick fix. It's not a quick job. It's not a quick role where you think I'll do that for a little bit and move on to the next, because it's not. You're building relationships, long-term relationships with these clients. You'll see them if they haven't got family now. You will see them with family if that's something they want to do, or wherever they want to go, whatever they want to do. You're going to see it. And if you don't get motivated by that, if you don't get a buzz out of that for seeing these people going through their financial life, so hopefully you want to see them through from sorting out a mortgage to get them on the property ladder, seeing them through the property ladder, and then seeing them out the other side where they've not got any mortgage anymore and they've not got any debt, and they own their own home, or they're doing what they want to do, or renting out. You've got to change. There's certain words that I don't feel comfortable using all the time, but you are genuine with your enthusiasm for your clients. And I think that will shine through with everything that you do, because even now when you're talking, the words that you're saying and the way that you're coming across is that because you do care about where they're going, you do care about what they're wanting to do, you do care about what their aspirations and dreams are and everything else. And you want to be part of that journey, which is not like everybody's not like that. And that's where successful mortgage brokers that I see have that feeling. They want to be part of that client's journey. It's not a case of, I'll do your 2-year fix now. I might speak to you in a couple of years' time, but you might go direct to lender. It's not about that. You are you're part of their fiction fitting, shall we say, in terms of their dreams and aspirations of what they want to achieve from a property, financial, and home point of view.
Well, it's brilliant. Literally, you just remind me, 2-year fix, right? I had one last week, come back round, young couple. It did take a while because they were on like short-term contracts and all this type of thing. First thing they messaged me, I rang them. First thing they said, nothing about the mortgage. Oh, I won't believe it, Leigh, we've had a baby. And I was like, oh, that's amazing. Oh, congratulations, that's brilliant. Right, so what's going on? Oh, just blah, blah, blah. But the first thing they said, Leigh, we got to tell you we've had a baby. Oh, and the other guy, there was another one last week. I can't say his name. I probably can actually. Ashley, his name is. No one know him. He's texted me to say, "Oh, Leigh, can we come for a walk down the river with you? Because they want to show me the baby. Not a different couple. Want to show me their baby now as well. And we go for a walk with them down the river." So I know. Don't get me wrong. Not all motivated. Some might be thinking, what's he doing? But that's the type of relationships I'm getting with people now. That's not false. That's nothing. That is me and the depth that I put into my clients. And I tell you what, I'm happy. I'm so happy that they're having children. The first thing they tell them, not talk to me about the mortgage. They're acting, oh, we got a baby, and oh, mum's okay, and all that. It's class. And then obviously you get around to talking about the mortgage. I do mortgages as well, but it's that type of in-depth relationship and the openness, which which just comes naturally. Don't force it. Don't force it at all. Just try to just let it evolve,
Yeah. Be yourself. Absolutely. But that's the thing is, then that you've got buy-in from that client. They're not going to go anywhere else. They're not going to speak to anybody else. If anybody tries to tempt them away from somebody else being the mortgage broker, that's just not going to happen, because they won't have that relationship anywhere else. They won't get that service anywhere else. And even if they wanted to try and replicate that, it just wouldn't happen with 99% of the population. So it's just like, to be fair, mate, I'm in awe of what that's an amazing feeling for you when they're sort of saying to you, can we go for a walk, and you meet the baby and we'll just have a quick chat about the mortgage, and what a great place to be. Like from your point of view, from thinking of being a self-employed mortgage broker and now business owner, which we're going to come on to that as well. We've not even talked about that yet, and we're already way into the podcast.
Oh, sorry.
No, mate, it's fine. No, this is really not complex whatsoever. It's just hilarious. I knew we had a brief chat before recording the podcast, and I just said to you, there's no, even I've got my bit of an agenda. I think they've got 3 lines. You've got a whole sheet of paper. I think there's no point having a sheet of paper, because it will just end talking about everything. So
yeah, the papers are wiped off. The papers are wiped off, mate. I haven't even looked at it.
Like I say, so the thing is with it, the clients are buying to you. That's how you built your brand. That's how you built your your business over the past, like I say, how long it's been, and like it's 8 months since we originally got you onto the podcast, and how much has changed in that period of time. So let alone how much has changed in your whole journey with regards to financial service and mortgage services. So there's two bits I really wanted to talk about. One was TikTok, because obviously that's now become your sort of thing as well. So you've added that onto the mix of your social media, and I'll have a bit of a chat about that. I'm not, but the main thing I wanted to talk about was obviously you're now launching as this will go out. You will have launched you will have launched this week your own business, your own brand. So which is the most important bit, really, because that's the bit where people want to, yes, we want to know how you've got there. Yes, the subscriber listeners will want to know how you've got to that point, Leigh. And this is all golden stuff that you're talking about. So with your clients and who you are and stuff like that. So we'll come on to the brand. We'll come on to the brand shortly.
Okay.
TikTok, new thing for you. Did this decide one day to, because obviously you're doing the videos and that already, thinking, well, I need to get on another platform?
No, I went when TikTok was sort of launched. I got Mortgage Man Wales as the profile name, but I didn't do anything with it. Then I left it there for a bit, and I was doing stuff, not hardly anything, about 5 videos. It was just like, oh, I've had a great week, blah blah blah, and dancing and things, and it was just not what I wanted to be perceived as. So I left it dormant for a bit. So I did put the crossbar one on there yesterday, but I haven't touched that. So as you know, there's a story behind it, but I present the weather in the mornings. I do the early morning weather report. Now, for anybody who doesn't know what that is, which you probably won't, it is me who goes out for a walk every morning, and I then stop and then give a weather report in a middle-class man's voice, and then I've got sort of a saying as well, which I sort of say, and then I put that out every morning on Facebook. It's evolved from, I didn't keep on talking mortgage all the time, so then I wanted to show some exercise. Then I was going walking, posting my walks. Then I would just say, oh, the weather, and then I went up to school a couple of times, and all the mums are going, what's the weather like today? You didn't put the weather on there. And so then I started putting the weather more and more, and people saying, oh, you're doing loads of steps and all this. And I was going, yeah. On LinkedIn, loads of people on there. And then Mark Pugsley he was at the Specialist Finance Centre, said, oh, you want to do a weather report? And I thought, well, all right, then let's do it. But because obviously I want to show myself as approachable, but I want people to know I have a bit of a laugh as well. So if I was just talking, I think day after day, that would get a little bit monotonous. So I just developed the character where I've got a middle-class accent and I say hot dog at the end of every one. So then I thought, right, I know the launch is coming soon for the business, right? But I wanted to practice on TikTok. I wanted to practice and see how it all worked, like the hashtags, how to edit the videos, how to put the captions up. And I thought, well, I got a safe place there, haven't I? Weatherman Wales, which is what I got, is safe for me because it's not going to offend anyone. I'm not. I can play about with it a little bit. I'm not going to sort of harm my professional reputation by doing anything as a weatherman, just having a little bit of fun. I don't tend to do the trends or anything like that. I've had a little go on them just to see if I can do them. But the point of the Weatherman Wales is the fun, obviously, but it's also to see how the hashtags and everything work. And then when I launch the business, I can use that to go into Mortgage Man Wales and then replicate what I've learned. And the good thing with that is, look, I've learned now how to do a video when I'm out, and I can upload it by the time I got back. So I don't lose any time out of my day at all. I literally do the video, one take, don't mess about, one take, do it. Hope it's funny. As I'm walking round the corner, I literally do the stuff and it's uploaded by the time I get in the house.
Nice.
And the TikTok is going okay. I mean, I've only been on it 2.5 weeks as a weatherman, but I showed you that thing, didn't I? With Facebook, the weather forecast is nuts. The amount of inquiries have gone I didn't think I'd get more inquiries, to be honest. She was a one-man band, you know what I mean? But it's crazy. That's why I've had to turn my phone off. I've turned it off for this. It's just buzzing and beeping all the time. But I showed you the other day, didn't I? Hit the crossbar, and I think, like, in the end, I think 120 people liked it. There was like 150 comments on there. And although, like, I'm a mortgage advisor, aren't I? But people see I'm approachable. People know who I am. I got people shouting "hot dog" out of vans at me and waving at me. But the thing is, they all know that I'm a mortgage advisor. They all know that. But that just shows a little bit of a character, some fun, and obviously I'm approachable. And it's going all right. And I haven't seen any other mortgage advisors doing it. I don't know probably why, but I'm consistent every day.
But I think the thing is, like, with that, mate, is that, yes, whether you're doing it in a safe environment with the weather stuff, obviously, but that's, people remember you for that now. So it's not necessarily the case of it's got to be forced down your throat, mortgages, whatever. Like, I speak to brokers, like, well, I don't know what to do about the videos, I don't know what to do. You've just got on there, started talking. I can remember, like, the first early doors when you were doing them, and cringing a few times when you nearly got run over with a few I don't know, I was worried about that for your health and safety point of view. And so I was just glad when you were stood still filming them. I just thought, I feel a bit comfortable now that he's not going to get run over, fall into a lake or anything like that kind of thing going on.
But I did really get run over, didn't I? But I've been doing them all year, look. So I'm so happy now it's the light mornings and the sun's starting to come out, because I've been in really bad conditions. It's been smashing it down with rain. And I'm there going, welcome to the early morning weather report. I'm thinking, oh, dear me. Yeah, but they come on a bit. And like I said, I got some structure to them now. And people love them, mind. I can't believe the response. People really, from everywhere as well.
But how have you, like, when you look at it, it's the same with anybody starting out for the first time. When you look back at what you did in the first video, it is not, and when I look at mine, it's like, it's cringe, it's not perfect. I'm not saying this is perfect in any way, shape, or form, because obviously I've had a problem with lying just then, so that's another story, which I can't edit that bit out. But in terms of, like, it's just you just did it. You didn't really, you would just get on and do it. And it's just, what I love is that everybody's been, all the people that watch, all the people that comment, all the people that like it, have been part of that journey as your videos have evolved. So everybody feels part of that journey as well, which is great. So you're going to get your likes and your comments because people have felt part of this from the start, kind of thing. So when you look back at your first ones, and now I do, I think, wow, look at those first videos that you're putting out. Like, it is cringe. And I still cringe now watching any of these, but at least you've done it. At least you started. At least you've evolved. At least you've learned. You've built a brand. You've built who you are. You now, like you say, you've got structure to them. You've got your catchphrases. You've got your little bits of things like that. And it's just developed. But the thing is, like, now, is like you say, is how, like, like, I'm listening to you there thinking you're shooting something while you're out walking. It's all done. By the time you get back in the house, it's all done. Well, great. It's about non-friction, and that's non-friction. It's just so much, because if you got back and thought, I'm going to do this now, I need to do this, I need to do that, it probably wouldn't get done as, like, in terms of, so you've perfected the art, you've got your structure in place, you know what you're doing now. So it just makes it easy for you to do those sorts of things.
Yeah, exactly. What I did, I look back, I made a series at the start of lockdown called Mortgages Made Easy. They were on my YouTube channel. They were educational. They sit there as a library now, like, for my clients. If my clients if I talk to them, I always say, oh, look, if you forget something, ring me. But if not, just go on my YouTube channel. Yeah. And to be honest, like, everyone's doing these educational videos now. Everyone's sort of doing them, aren't they? I ran out of material. I went for everything. Even the buildings and contents one was a nightmare. I can't. And so anyway, I even done buildings and contents and how to explain it. And I know people find mortgages interesting who don't do mortgages. I get that, but there's only so much you can dissect it. And I ran out of stuff. Maybe I should go back and have a look. But the first one I done that was in my daughter's bedroom on my cardboard pop-up desk. And the content, if you listen, the content was good, but I think I got like a dream catcher in the back with a pink ball and everything. But yeah, I mean, I'll look back on that with fond memories, actually, because I was just glad that I just thought, can I say balls to it? Balls to it. Just let's just do it, Leigh. Get it out there and see what happens. I think that one had about 2,500 views on Facebook anyway.
Wow.
Yeah. Just me in my bedroom, in my daughter's bedroom, rather. But then people started to get a bit bored of them. Views went up and down. They seem to get a bit bored with them. And then you've got to be careful, because if your face isn't on the front, say I put Mortgages Made Easy episode 6, Bite the Let explained, for example. If they can't see your face, they don't engage with it straight away and they don't watch it. So it's different things you've got to learn about. And in the end, I think because it was getting so specific, there wasn't that many views on it. That's why I sort of put it onto the YouTube for a library for clients. I'm still there now. I did check it quickly before I came on here, but I wouldn't recommend anybody really to go and have. Well, they could go and have a look at the first one maybe, and then see.
No. I'm gonna tag in the put on when it goes out. I'm gonna put some links onto your first ever one.
Mind you, people watching this will probably think, well, he's not much better at talking to the camera now. Yeah, but that I'm just glad I did it. And like I said, now I can post on LinkedIn, I can post on Facebook while I'm walking, I can do stuff. So like you said, no friction. And it's basically using the best use of my time, because I'm out walking anyway. I'm doing some social media. It just kills two birds with one stone.
Exactly. And like I say, it just gives you consistency. One of the things you said when you were talking a bit earlier was about the consistency. So it just gives you that you're out walking every single day. It's a funny thing, because the thing is, like, you have to go out walking every single day now. So it's a double win, because you've got to go out every single day walking. Because if you don't, which I know we've had a few misses, I think when you was ill and stuff like that, which we'll let you off with. But it gives you that motivation to get out of bed and to do it, because then you know you've done by 6 o'clock, 6:30, you've done your content for the day.
Yeah, exactly. And then I reply to everyone before I start my working day. I don't know if you've noticed, I sort of reply up to about 9ish. And then I'm concentrating then on what I'm supposed to be doing, basically. But yeah, regarding that day off I had to sort of make up that I'd been in a meeting with Michael Fish and what's his name, John Ketley, because I missed the crossbar on the Sunday. People were complaining because I missed the day. So when I go on paternity now, I don't have them because I'm self-employed, I suppose. But when I go out for the baby, I'm going to make up a false form, a paternity form, and post it on Facebook so people know I'm off on paternity.
It's like the test. You're not as old as me, mate, so I will lay off. But you used to have a test card when the TV finished at 12 o'clock at night. There was like a test card screen kind of thing with a weird looking girl, and so the people that are old. Colors? Yeah.
Maybe I'll get that then. Yeah. So I had complaints because I missed the day.
You get a test. That's the idea. We can get you get a test screen with your face on it. That's what you need.
There we go. Oh, superb. Yeah, all right, we'll do that then. Yeah. So, it does. It ticks all the boxes, and it's done and dusted quite early, so then I can get on with what I'm supposed to be doing, basically.
No, which I get your point on that, because I think sometimes, especially when you're posting videos, you can be worried about them all day. Like, are you replying in time? People are commenting, replying. You can get too hung up on replying and commenting on your LinkedIn post and not getting any work done. So it is getting that balance right. And I think you're right. If you've done it by 9 o'clock, right, I've done all my replies, stuff like that. Anybody else comments in the day, I'll pick up later kind of thing. Yeah. I think that's what you have to do.
Exactly. Or unfortunately for us mortgage brokers at the moment, they'll all resonate with this. We're on hold a lot of the minute.
Yeah.
You're on hold. So say you're on a hold and then you've got two broker chats going on, you're on a bit of this and that. Then you have a quick look at your phone, like, do you know what I mean? But yeah. I tend to just focus on work in proper traditional working hours, if you like.
Definitely. So a great lead into, because you talked about Mortgages Made Easy there. So a great lead into exciting times this week of you have launched your own brand, your own business, and exciting times ahead.
Yes, I have launched Mortgages Made Easy Limited, and I've I just can't believe it. Well, I say I can believe it. That's a lie because I've been working on it for a while. But yeah, mortgages made easy. The website, the logo, all been signed off and ready to go. It's all weird stuff as well. I don't know if you want to talk about that. It's like setting up the bank account, registering on companies, setting up bank accounts, registering on company's house, different. Sourcing an office if you need one. If you've got a baby coming when you're setting up a business.
Talk about timing. We did.
Yeah. All things like that, which registering with the network, going through the necessary due diligence the network need to do, and then doing the testing that the network needs you to do, liaising with yourself, Cree, because I'm not sure if you want to mention it, but I am going with you guys under your My Brand, My Way, which I'm really thankful for.
Thanks for dropping that in, Lee. I was going to give you all that sort of thing, but it's fine.
No, well, I'm happy. I was going to thank you for not accepting me, but being willing to work with me on My Brand, My Way, because I first heard of it when I've listened to all your podcasts, you know that, and it's on the trailer, isn't it? It's on the start to finish. I've listened to them all, and then I listened to you on a podcast with Ash Borland, and you were talking a bit about it. There was a previous one, not the one you've just done now, and I was thinking, rightly, I'm not that experienced in financial services. I haven't got a bad business head on my shoulders though, and I know that I couldn't have done this on my own, like I am on my own. I haven't got a business partner or anything like that. I haven't got the knowledge in the financial sector probably to develop this on my own at the minute. And when I listen to you, I don't know if you notice, Craig, right? But when you're doing a podcast with this might take you, I don't know if I hope we take this the right way, is that when you're doing a podcast with somebody else, right? I don't know if you realize how much people listen to what you're actually saying. Right. So, and the thing, and the stuff that you say to other guests, I listen to that as much as I listen to the guests.
Right.
And that I knew that I wanted to work with you. And then you didn't text something. You put something on one of my LinkedIn posts, like abundance mentality, I think it was. I think that's what you put. And then I knew then, I knew then that I wanted to work with you, but I don't think you knew that I wanted to work with you. So then I reached out to you then, and you were great. You were like, obviously very professional, but chilled out, my type of person. And then you've got to look at it from a business perspective then, because obviously you've got to look at the percentages and the forecast and whatever else. It was a no-brainer. So I could go with you, work with you, have you as a mentor and a guide for the same as just joining a network. And I know for a fact that you're going to help me progress so much faster than if I tried to fight for all this stuff on my own. And I just thank you so much, mate. I remember when I text you like, do you want to, I text you, do you want to work? Can I work with you or something? And they look at me and go red again. And I was thinking, oh God, imagine he says no now. So
mate, it was never going to, it was never going to be a no, but I genuinely do appreciate that feedback. And I think I like working with like-minded people. I think, and you should work with like-minded people. I've talked about that before. I think it's, if your cultures are like your values are aligned, the culture, everything about it. And I think, and I appreciate that feedback. It's not, I think with the podcast sometimes, going back to your original comment, it's, and I've talked about it on the podcast with Ash, which was a few weeks ago on the anniversary one, about, I didn't realize I was on a few podcasts before I decided to host my own. And I thought, this is easy. This is like being on a podcast. It's sort of, you're just chatting about yourself, talking about what you do, how you do it, blah, blah, blah. But then being a host, when you're on the host, you're thinking, oh my God, like it is, you're constantly having to think, because it's just, what you don't want to do is miss the golden nuggets that you talk about. So you've got to have those in your mind, thinking we need to explore those a little bit more from what, but you could throw that comment in 5 minutes ago kind of thing. So then I've got to think, well, and it's so funny you should say that about the comments, because it's something that we're going to look at doing is because it's very much a guest. A podcast is all about the guest. So this is your show. I just host a show that is your show, and we're talking about you and your brand and stuff like that. But I think I'm glad you said that, Leigh, because what we're going to look at doing is then clipping some of what you sort of say, and then me having more of a talking about what you've said after on my own kind of thing. So do you know, like sort of saying this is like something that Leigh said, talking about whatever it was, and then this is my take, because I don't always get time to sort of talk on from my point of view, because you're just that busy thinking what I'm going to say next, what I'm going to be keeping the full conversation going and stuff like that. So I appreciate that, mate. But going back to your point, and I think it goes back to the same thing as why I knew that you and I worked together, because there is no hidden agenda in me. I don't sit here on the podcast and then I'm talking to a member of the team, or I'm talking to a business owner, or I'm talking to like the network or whoever. It's just me. I'm really sorry, but it is just me. There's no hidden agenda. There's no bull. There's no
exactly.
And you're being yourself. And that's the thing with you and I knew you would work. You and I work together because you are yourself. That is clearly the case. But going back to it, there is a lot to think about when you're setting up your own firm. Absolutely. But the exciting times is that's what you're doing. All the hard work that you've put in over the past few years of getting into the industry, building yourself, building your brand, your knowledge, your skill, being brave and going out there and making the videos and doing everything else. It's yours, mate. Do you know, that's the thing, is like, this is yours. You're not buying leads in. You're not working with an estate agent or an introducer kind of thing point of view. They can get dropped. You can get dropped as quick as anything in terms of training you for somebody else and more percentage and stuff like that. It's not. This is you, and you're building your business. You're building your legacy, and that's the exciting times with it all.
Well, that's the good thing about my brand, my way, isn't it? Because it is my brand and my way, so it is my business, and I can steer it as long as it's compliant. Let's cover ourselves quickly. I can steer it how I want to steer it, can't I? And that's what something which was really important to me was I need to know that decisions that I make, which have a direct effect on my family, are the decisions which are right, or sink or swim. I think so far it's gone okay. And I just need to know from like an entrepreneurial sort of mindset that the things I got in my mind going forward, not just now, but forward and forward and forward, the picture I've got, I think that I just want to know that it's right. I want to prove it to myself. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's going to come over very well. I just want to prove that this vision I got, which could hopefully step by step come together, I'll then know whether it was right or not. And it's in my hands, isn't it? It's not in nobody else's hands. It's my responsibility. And that's what I want to do.
That's the thing, mate. You hit the nail on the head. It's your responsibility, but you have got that freedom to create that and create your responsibility, which you're not shying away from. So that's the big thing with it. Is you are creating this is something you want to do and something you want to create. Yeah. You're taking responsibility for it, but you've got the freedom to do that, and you will make it work. There's not one doubt about that.
I can't wait, mate. Honestly, I cannot wait to kick it off properly. I'm excited. I got to wait till you see some of the stuff I'm going to do. It's going to be brilliant. Honestly, I got some class stuff lined up. I don't want to say too much because I want it to be like a surprise.
Yeah. Don't give any spoilers on the show, mate.
No, I won't. Just so I have a good impact, and that's another thing as well. I got to be careful when I launch. Obviously, I want this to go out and through other things, but I got to be careful because I've got to build my infrastructure. Once my infrastructure is in place and I know exactly where I am, then I can just go absolutely nuts. Then and full on mortgages made easy express mode. I just love it. I just cannot wait to get it going.
Good. No, and that's the thing is, I can't wait to see it grow and evolve, mate. And just being part of that journey, your enthusiasm, motivation, everything about it is just going to be, it's going to be an exciting ride, and I'm looking forward to just helping you along with the ride. Really, it is going to be such a great thing to see and be, and it's yours. It's your responsibility, and any help and support that I can give, then you know that I will do as much as I possibly can. So cool.
I appreciate that. Thank you, mate.
Fine. But look, we've gone on for sort of like, you are a very busy man, and we've gone on for sort of like 45 minutes or so. But it's been good to get you back on. Good to hear about it. Good to sort of see we've gone from the bad internet outside in your garden with the dogs, and now you've got full HD 1080 camera, full fibre in the office. Back, like, you've got yourself all geared up. You've put yourself a nice shirt on, and you've got a swell out of the top kind of thing. You put a bit of fake tan on. I'm joking, mate. It's all that walking in the morning. It's all the walking.
I've been looking a bit weathered.
Leigh, honestly, mate, thank you so much for your time. Thanks for coming back onto the podcast again. It's been a great journey. I'm going to tag in those early editions, so we'll get a few we'll get you a few views increased on that and on those. And yeah, it's great to see how it's evolved from what you started, when I first got to know you a while ago, getting you onto the podcast, looking at where you're growing, look at where you're going, then, and yeah, it's going to be an incredible journey. And I'm very lucky to have not a front row seat, shall we say, in terms of looking what you're doing.
I really appreciate that. Thank you, Craig. And thanks for everything, mate. You know, over since August, just the education through the podcast, but also being on the end of the phone and the support. Not just saying it because I'm on here. I say it to you anyway, but thanks very much for everything, mate. I do really appreciate it.
No worries, mate. You know, that's not a problem for me. Like you said, we talk about abundance mentality. We talk about all the other things, and about values and stuff like that. Not a problem at all, mate. Not a chore. I'm just glad to have a chat with somebody that's got like-minded views, aspirations, and values, which is a big thing for me. So, Brill.
No, cheers, mate.
I'm looking forward to more weather reports.
You'll be one tomorrow morning.
Leigh, thanks very much. We're going to get you back on. This is going to go out on the launch of Mortgages Made Easy. So we're going to get you back on maybe 6 months in, because you're going to be busy. So maybe 6 months in, having a bit of review, bit of a catch up, and hopefully some more weather reports, obviously, and some more great insights on what you've achieved over the past 6 months.
I really appreciate it. Thanks again, Craig.
And good luck. If this goes out and you've not, and Lauren's still in labour or not achieved labour yet, then from everybody that's listening and subscribing, good luck with good luck to Lauren, and hope everything goes all right.
Oh, that's amazing. Thanks again, mate. I'll pass that on.